Ishwaram, as resplendent sun, it's the start of a bright new day. Time to rise, time to shine, Lord divine. Time to lead us along life's way. Awake, Lord of Buddha party. Awake, O Lord, over all mankind. Awake, O Lord of compassion, that the world good fortune may find.
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। प्रातरग्निं प्रातरिन्द्रगुं हवामहे प्रातर्मित्रा वरुणा प्रातरश्विना प्रातर्भगं भूषणं ब्रह्मणस्पतिं प्रातः सोममुत रुद्रगुं हुवेम प्रातर्जितं भगमुग्रगुं हुवेम वयं पुत्रमदितेजो विधत्ता आदश्चिद्यं मन्यमानस्तुरश्चिद्राजा चिद्यं भगं भक्षीत्याह भगप्रणेतर्भग सत्यराधो भगे मां धियमुत वददन्नः भगप्रणो जनय गोभिरश्वैर्भगप्रणुभिर्नृवन्तः स्याम उदेलानीं भगवन्तस्य मोद प्रपित्व उत मध्ये अह्नाम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
As we inaugurate the first Human Values Day, we are reminded of a prophetic divine declaration made by Avatar of the Age in 1947, that he had come to uplift the entire human race through the four basic human values: Satya, Dharma, Shanti and Prema. Scriptures have revealed that in the Treta Yuga, the good and bad were in separate families and separate countries. In the Dwapara Yuga, the good and evil were in the same family. However, in Kali Yuga, the good and bad are in the same body. If therefore the Avatar decides to uproot evil from everybody, who will survive the onslaught of the Avatar's anger? Hence this Kali Yuga, Avatar has not come to destroy the human, but to remake him into the better human being. The Avatar uses the technique of love and persuasion to transform the mankind from laziness to dedication, from evil to good, and from restlessness to peace. It is therefore most appropriate that our loving and caring Lord announced 20th November every year to be celebrated as Human Values Day. In a world where science and technology has made giant strides, we find that intelligence has taken charge of the lives of man. The heart from where love flows has been choked by the power of intellect, and values or good morals have taken a back seat. Life has become machine-like. And unless the atomic civilization takes a U-turn and becomes Atmic civilization, there does not seem to be any hope for the human race. This order of the day needs to be changed, and there would not be a better moment to do it now, since we are on the threshold of entering 21st century. But as we know, Bhagavan has been directing us from time to time that divine mission can be achieved not by way of information technology, but through transformation technology.
Our dearest Bhagavan, speakers come here and offer their pranams at your lotus feet. Today, on behalf of all youth, I would like to pray that every youth becomes a lotus at your feet, and you will stand forever in the lotus of our hearts. Bhagavan, in presenting the report for the overseas youth meeting, I'd like to say firstly, there were a total of about 900 delegates, youth and young adults and advisors from 63 nations. And amazingly, there was almost a 50-50% male-female break in this particular participation. Plenary sessions and workshops were held addressing issues of leadership according to Swami's definition and guidance. The youth also examined the impact of globalization on the lives of many countries and individuals, and how to ensure peace and harmony in the world. The focus of all this attention was on individual sadhana, family sadhana, and community sadhana. As a result of this, many recommendations and resolutions have been made for the youth to implement. I'd like to provide here the summary of the action plans. The following principles have been accepted, Bhagavan, by the youth. All Sai youth will work under the umbrella of the Sai organization in their countries and take an active part in all activities of their centers. Number two, they will undertake special activities that will focus on youth development to manifest youth talent and self-confidence. Thirdly, they will attempt to promote sadhana in their respective families and take their families along with them in the spiritual path. With these principles and response to the above, the youth of the world, overseas countries, pledged to Sai to fulfill the following. They will make the 9-point code of conduct a guide for their lives. They will try, Bhagavan, with your divine blessing and guidance, they will try by thought, word and deed to be ideal examples for other youth to follow. The light they have in their hearts, they will transmit to others. Number three, they will try to bring all members of their families together for weekly sessions of spiritual togetherness, following their own respective cultures and traditions, and thus make their family a spiritual unit. In responding to Sai's call for the youth, that youth alone can transform youth, the Sai youth will undertake the following. Number one, Bhagavan, in every country where Sai youth exist, they will undertake one project of significant benefit for welfare of society and especially for youth. One significant example would be to adopt at least one village or depressed high-rise slum area in an urban environment. Responding to Sai's call on September 1999, that I want you to be leaders, I quote this now from Bhagavan's speech, I want you to become ideal leaders, make use of your education to serve the poor, conduct free tuition classes. Bhagavan, taking this as a guidance, the Sai Youth pledge to set up free tuition classes for poor children. If this program is properly planned and launched at the birth of the new millennium, we will have by November 2000, Bhagavan's 75th birthday, hundreds of thousands of children and youth around the world benefiting from Satya Sai tuition centers. This is the first major pledge. Second, in response to the need of modern education and the work environment, the Sai Youth will also set up at least one Satya Sai computer education center in every city for the children of the poor. The Sai Youth will be teaching other children and youth not only how to use computers, but also human values. They will thus try to transform the youth of urban and rural poor into not only users of computers, but also into composers, as desired by Bhagavan Baba. The youth in each zone will get together annually in one of the poorer areas in their zones for Sai spiritual camps, where they will, at the end of the camp, leave behind in the area a permanent legacy of Sai love in the form of a Satyasai Children's Playground or a Satyasai Children's Library or any other such project that will have a sustainable impact and benefit for poor children and youth in the area. In fulfilling the above projects, the Sai youth will carry forth the torch of Sai through love, sacrifice and service around the world. They'll also leave a permanent legacies of education and human welfare for the benefit of society. Bhagavan, this is the report. You have said, Bhagavan, that you will leave the mortal body in 2020. If every year the youth come forth and offer to you what they have done around the world, in 20 years' time there will be such a momentum, such a tidal wave of service around the world that will carry through your mission into the millennium, next millennium 3000. And now I speak to the youth of foreign countries. When you leave here, do not leave Bhagavan in Prashanti Nilayam. Let every one of us take Sai. Bhagavan has said, don't walk in front of me, I will not follow you. Bhagavan has said, don't walk behind me, you may not keep up with me. Bhagavan has said, walk by my side. Dear youth, let every one of us now walk by Bhagavan's side.
As citizens of a modern world, we must learn to use man's scientific progress for service. And it was decided that we will intensify the technical and skill training of Sai youth to make them better instruments in the hands of our Lord. Suitable programs for this will be formulated in all the states of India. A new insight was obtained into the therapeutic effects of bhajan and meditation in addressing and preventing many of the physical and psychological ills afflicting man. This is the divine treatment given by Bhagavan for this Kali age, easy to practice and benefit from. The Sai youth pledge to you, Bhagavan, that they will work within the Sai organization in all activities, observing the rules and regulations, wearing the Sai scarf and coin with joy and humility, participating in the bhajan and the satsang, respecting elders and sharing the joy of being with Sai. It was also decided that every youth must be attached to a samiti before being allowed to participate in seva activities. Youth must also participate in the other samiti activities. Youth must do their individual sadhana and also promote family sadhana. Youth must participate in at least one special youth project of the Samiti. Already, Bhagavan, several states have prepared, the youth from several states have prepared their action plans of what they are going to do in the coming year in their respective states.
In India, Satyasai schools were established in many states. But it was only 8 years ago that Satyasai schools were started in overseas countries. It was in 1992 that Satyasai schools were established in Zambia, Nepal, and Thailand. Today, we have 14 Satyasai schools. 3 are in Zambia, 3 in South Africa, 2 in Nepal, 2 in Australia, 1 each in Thailand, Brazil, Indonesia, and the Fiji Islands. And as of today, 15 more schools are being planned or in the process of construction in the United States of America, in the United Kingdom, Greece, Netherlands, Denmark, Canada, Thailand, South Africa, Ghana, Kenya, Sri Lanka, the Philippines, and Turkey. With greater awareness of the Satyasai Education in Human Values program comes the desires for teachers and administrators of education to find out more about the program. Seminars and trainings of teachers are being held in many countries. In order to follow up these seminars, the adoption of schools where teachers have been trained was started. The adoption means that Satyasai education in human values is introduced and used in the school. To date, we have at least 460 schools under the adoption program in overseas countries. An important milestone in the Satyasai education will be the UNESCO conference jointly hosted by UNESCO and the Institute of Satyasai Education to be held here in the Prashanti Nilayam in the Divine Presence on the 25th to the 28th of September in the year 2000. We are expecting top educators from over 150 countries to attend this UNESCO conference. As Satyasai EHV is spreading quickly, it is realized that the program cannot be successful without the cooperation of the parents, as parents are the first teachers and will continue to have an important influence on the life of the growing child. Thus, parent training in human values has become a very important aspect and has now become an important part of the Satyasai education in human values program.
Establishing an identity or establishing an awareness is of no consequence unless it leads to self-sacrifice. When Kennedy asked, don't ask what America can do for you, but what you can do for America. And this is the type of thing which comes in terms of sacrifice. And the Kaivalya Upanishad talks about nakarmana na prajaya dena tyagena keneva amrtatvamana shuhu. So fundamental is sacrifice. You should be able to do little acts of sacrifice. It may be a very big sacrifice later, but learning to live together is really a question of sacrifice and adjustment. And all this so that you yearn self-realization. You learn self-sacrifice so that you yearn self-realization. You reach the goal, the place from which you started. And for this, Swami's prescription is bend the body, mend the mind, and end the senses. If you do this, there is a harmony. Then your mind is under control. You are the master of yourself. And then the sense control, when it is complete, they act only as guards, but they do not overtake you. And when this harmony is established, also aim at the Trikarana Suddhi, what you say and what you think and what you act should be in harmony. Then you are understood, you relate yourself much better to your community around.
Dear sisters and brothers, the Institute has published 5 new books, and I'd like to present these now to Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. The first book is the proceeding of the first seminar on EHV for parents, which was held here on the 24th to the 27th of July in Prashanti Nilayam. And the second book is Inspirational Stories, published by the Institute. And the 3 theses of the advanced diploma students. And now may I request Bhagavan to present the diplomas to the graduates of the Institute of Satya Sai Education. First, the advanced diploma students from Argentina, Sister Fernanda Maria Reiti. She has done a thesis on integral EHV. And from Japan, Sister Masako Tsuruta. She has done a thesis on Satyasai education in human values and visual arts. From Morocco, Sister Pooja Prem Shukani. She has done a thesis on redefining the direct method of the Satyasai education in human values. And now the diploma students. First, the ladies. From Australia, Sister Vivian C. V. Tan. From Canada, Sister Gordon Howard. From Canada, Sister Priya Naidu. From Canada, Sister Seema Poda. And from Canada, Sister Sheila Swift. From the Fiji Islands, Sister Saras Naika. From Indonesia, Sister Inga Hastuti Sari Hurip. From Oman, Sister Sumana Sashida. From Singapore, Sister Veena Nakia. From South Africa, Sister Bala Naidu. From South Africa, Sister Sundri Naidu. From Sri Lanka, Sister Lilankani de Silva. From Sri Lanka, Sister Savitri Soisa. From Thailand, Sister Kamalesh Jakota. From Thailand, Sister Jiratakan Pongpakatien. From Thailand, Sister Pinya Suwarnachai. From the United Kingdom, Sister Barbara Topple. From the United States of America, Sister Stephanie Mew. And from the United States of America, Sister Kelsey Muller. And now the gentleman from Brazil, Brother Salvatore Kida. From the Fiji Islands, Brother Ram Narayan. From Indonesia, Brother E. Ketetut Mantra. From Mauritius, Brother Soniras Monohur. And from Thailand, Brother Kamton Sirimongkon. And now, I'd like to request Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba to deliver his divine message.